Hi, my name is Justin Odisho, and in this Adobe Photoshop tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the Distort filters. So we're just going to go straight down the line. These are alphabetically organized. And the first one we have is Displace. This one's pretty cool because it allows you to displace your image in a horizontal or vertical scale based on different PSDs that you load in. So if I press OK here, it'll allow me to choose a PSD file from anywhere on my desktop. So this could be a file of anything, and it will choose the contrast and different luminance values of that file to displace the image at the strength that you chose. And just to show you guys how I made that, I just opened up a new document, and for example, I just made this black and white gradient thing. You could do anything really. You could do filter render clouds, or you could add other distortions, like let's say a zigzag distortion on these clouds. And then if I save this as a PSD and then use that as my displacement map, when I choose displace, I can choose the strength, which is kind of like the scale. I can choose whether I want to stretch that to fit or tile it like a pattern. And I can choose whether to repeat or wrap around undefined pixels. But when I press OK and I choose that new displacement map, you'll see a different result based on the texture of that image. So you see, in this case, we get that more ripple look. So you can displace with things that you generate, such as these. You can use patterns, any sort of photos. You can displace with other photos, like a flag waving. Next up, we have pinch. This one's pretty self-explanatory. You can see here, it allows us to pinch in the center point, or if you go negative 100%, you can bulge out. If you zoom out, you can see what's actually happening. So if I pinch or bulge, we can get different results, such as this. The next one that we have is polar coordinates. Now there's two settings here. This allows us to either go rectangular to polar, which in this case, we have a rectangular photo. And if I make it polar, we kind of get a more globe shape. And you can see this line is where everything got bended together into a circle. Or if we go to filter, distort, polar coordinates, and go back polar to rectangular, we go back to our original image. So this can be good when you're trying to stitch together 360 photography in sometimes. However, you can also just use it as a distortion effect. So if I was to do polar to rectangular on a rectangular image, we'd get this weird look, but really it's functionally meant more for stitching 360-degree photos together. But you can use it for all different sorts of ways, especially in Photoshop. Even if you're working with text or graphics and you want to bend them around into a circle, that could be one to look at. The next one we have is ripple. Pretty self-explanatory. It just has a ripple, and you can choose from negative 999 to positive 999%. And you can choose small ripples. So this will almost be like little noise distortion. Or you could choose medium or large ripples. So this is what the large ripples would look like. You could see more separation between them. So remember, you don't only have to apply these onto photographs. You can apply them onto gradients or colors or text or shapes. So just remember that. The next one we have is shear. This one's interesting because you have a little bit more manual control. You have this straight line, straight up and down, and if you just click, it'll add a point, and you can bend and stretch that point whatever way you want. And you can add more than one point, and so you can shear your image or text or graphics in these warpy ways. Now you can also choose, because we're pulling the image out of its original edge, to wrap those pixels back around, which will look like this. Or you can choose to repeat edge pixels, which will look like this. They'll just kind of get pixel stretched, the parts that go beyond their original edge. The next one we have is spherize. It's kind of like pinch, but you do have one extra option here that you don't have in pinch, which is to do horizontal only. So you can do kind of like stretching the photo, or vertical only. So you can kind of stretch the photo in these different ways. And remember, you can always stack these together. There's no reason why I couldn't then add more, especially if your layer is a smart object and you're working with smart filters. I can go on to add the next one, which is twirl. This one will just twirl the image around the center. So I could do 50 degrees all the way up to 999 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise. And this is your twirl effect. The next one we have is wave. This is actually probably one of the coolest filters in Photoshop. it almost has its own little menu. And the cool part about this, just like the wave filter in Premiere Pro or the video editing counterparts, is it's randomized. You can randomize each one based on the settings that you choose. So you have the number of generators, which you can see when I crank that up, it goes like the amount of waves almost. You have the wavelength ranges, so minimum of 1 all the way up to a maximum. You can choose that. And you also have the amplitude strength, so minimum of 1 all the way up to however strong you want the wave to get. And if I click randomize over and over, we'll just get different results. So that's pretty cool. You can also change the scale. So we can make it only go vertical or only horizontal or a little bit of both strengths. And again, you have the wraparound or repeat edge pixels option. And then also you can choose the type of wave. So you can do a sine wave, a triangle, or a square wave. And these are just the different mathematical waves. But this is what the wave filter looks like for those settings that I had. And you could put this on text, shapes, as I've been saying. Finally, we have Zig Zag, which allows us to add these zigzag distortions kind of up or down into the image. And we could choose the amount of ripples or ridges. So you can see in this little map what's going on, and that's just being applied to the photo. And you could choose different styles of ridges. So pond ripples, out from the center more symmetrically, or around the center. So this almost looks like a twirl. This different zigzag looks more like a pond ripple. So you can get some cool effects with the zigzag. But that's a brief introduction, an example of how to use all the different distort effects in Photoshop. Some of these are really powerful and customizable. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the playlist where I'm going over every filter in Photoshop on my channel, and subscribe to stay tuned for all my new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and in the next video, we're going to be going over the noise filters in Photoshop.